just so everybody knows.
Do you guys have any suggestions? I was. Do I need a bug out spell? Should I have Dimension Door?
I mean, I've got it, but I've only got 3 spell slots, so a lot of times I'm not in a position to use it.
Got it. Yeah, I just don't know if we we have that teleport back to that dude's to Vizira's tower, but really need to get away.
Yeah, I was thinking about what spells I wanted to take at this level up, and I talked to Jared about that, because I could have taken teleport. And I said, well, what's the difference in me taking teleport and us using these rings? And he said, basically, either way, even if I took teleport, he said we have to travel 2 days. And I don't really understand this, but this is what he told me. We have to travel 2 days back to where we teleported the last time to get out.
That's a weird mechanic with like how familiar you are with the place you're trying to teleport to, I think.
Well, I think he's also put a shield on the city or something.
Yeah, I just don't know if Baylor necessarily would would have a getaway spell just because he's probably not going to try to get away from anything.
Well, you don't have to use Dimension Door just to get away, too. You can just use it to reposition yourself. You can get out of the crack you're in. Like L337 used it to get out of a monster's freaking mouth one time.
You can use it like Misty Step or any of those
take
other...
one person with you though with Dimension Door. That's
Yeah,
good.
that is true.
I'm just torn on whether I take it or not.
Did you keep haste? Because I've kept haste.
Yeah, I've kept haste.
Okay, because I've got it now too. Just don't, I can return the favor.
Well, guys, I got a in typical Bard fashion leadership role. I've taken a spell for all of us that I think we'll all enjoy. I've taken
Create fear.
Telepathic bond.
What is that?
Telepathic bond.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool, actually.
We're all going to be telepathically bonded to one another.
Cool.
That's what I need, is somebody being able to read my thoughts.
Someone to watch
It
over
does not
you.
read your thoughts.
Don't read my thoughts, dude. Don't do it.
It just lets us communicate.
I get you reading my thoughts. I don't know what it'll do,
How
but
is
it'll be
everybody
bad.
this evening?
So I'm full.
Extra good.
Oh man, I want some of that brisket so bad.
That rub that I used, I took a risk and tried the Traeger beef rub, and it is really good. It's really
What's in
good.
it?
It's cane sugar, onion powder, garlic powder, cayenne pepper.
On a brisket? Wow.
It was. I didn't think it would be good, but
I just use pepper.
it smelled a lot hotter than it tasted, but had a really good flavor, especially with the wood smoke, the cherry and the mesquite smoke. That was really good. Hey, Captain. Well, thank you for the lurk.
You got all.
Hey, are we on air already?
Well, I'm recording. Yeah, we are. I like to catch the banter.
Yeah, get a little banter.
One. Check.
Check. I got a hot mic.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Well, I've got a little bit of disturbing news to share.
Oh boy.
So you all know Scarlett, you my dear wife, and obviously Joe Bob and Cade. And Joe Bob knows a little bit about this already, but Cade, this is going to be might be a little upsetting to hear about your favorite aunt. But you found out that she is not the woman I thought she was after 27 years of marriage.
She's a man, baby.
We had a deal. She's got on this house plant kick. She has filled this house with house plants.
Ah.
And as you guys know, I'm a big fan of aquarium fish. Now I've got a couple of aquariums. I used to have a lot of aquariums.
Right.
But Scarlett kind of put the kibosh on it. She didn't like the aquariums in the house. We got 2. That's all she let me have. So I made a deal.
no.
I made a deal with Scarlett. And Joe Bob and Cam were there and witnessed this deal. And it was, if she got 5 more house plants, I was going to get to add another aquarium into the house. Well, we went to Lowe's yesterday to look at plants. She was primarily looking for some outdoor plants. But of course, she came home, and literally the day after we made that deal, she bought one plant, which she split into 3 different pots, and made it, in my mind, 3 house plants, right?
Yep.
That
There's
tracks,
3,
right?
yep.
That's
One
3.
pot, one
Well,
plant.
yesterday, she bought 2 more house plants, making 5. And of course, the whole time I was not saying anything, because I just knew she's forgotten, and she's lost count or forgotten, and I'm going to get myself an aquarium. And granted, she was on the fence about one of the plants, and I urged her.
I bet you told her it looked real nice.
I said, that is a nice money tree. She's like, well, I already got a money tree. I said, you don't have a money tree like that money tree. And she bought the money tree. Came home, and so we get in the car, and I texted Joe Bob, said, I'm about to pull it off, man. She's about to get plant number 5. So I'm not saying a word till we get in the car. So we get in the car, and she, I reminded her of the deal and told her, hey, that's 5. You know what she's done? She's
Yes, what's
reneged.
5?
She's reneged. She said, that deal's
Reneged?
not happening. Not doing it. You're not getting another aquarium.
Where's the pants around here, HI?
I dare you to get another aquarium.
Oh,
So
boy.
Scarlett is, she's,
You kicked
she
her out.
welched. She welched, and she may or may not be here when we all gather in August. It's threatening the.
So you're getting
area.
smoked
out, so you have to
20
find a place
fish
with
for
a
this
lot
new
of-
one?
with a lot of natural sunlight.
I mean, our whole back wall is all windows, so I mean, you'll never find the deal. Hell, I've even got them in my office because they've overflown into here.
So you're getting
So,
saltwater or freshwater for this new tank?
I was
Is
just
she
gonna
really
be nice,
Ivy
just
from
fresh water.
Batman? Is that what this is?
Jared's a Tanganyika man.
That's yes, exactly right.
You got free decorations.
I've got. I mean, and it's not like I don't have 5 aquariums in the garage. I just got not the garage, in the attic. I just got to take one out and set it up. So
You're gonna put it right
Where was
beside her side of the bed,
aquarium gonna
right?
go?
I don't know. I don't yet know where it's going to go, but I will find space. That's beside the point.
You know what? I think you need a room addition onto the house that is nothing but aquariums.
No,
we
you just need
just
to have
is
one
an
big
aquarium.
giant aquarium that you dive into,
You
I
feed the
thought
fish in a wetsuit. That's
I
it.
would set up one of those aquariums where like the plants are growing out the top of it, and that might
There you go.
satisfy both of our
Boy, that would be
fantasies.
just like a little marital bliss.
I think this is a deeper plan by her. If she fills up the house with house plants, there's no room for D&D.
Like little
Oh,
fish
no,
out the horse.
well, I'm not sure which she likes less, D&D or
Aquariums.
it's up in the air.
What if we had an aquatic campaign?
Oh boy.
Yeah, all tritons.
The Ghost of Salt Marsh.
There you go. Done.
Done and done.
So there's a little marital strife going on here in the Shoemaker household, but so
I feel for you, bro.
this place will either be covered in houseplants or fish tanks whenever everybody shows up in August.
We're gonna come in there with machetes and shit, chopping our way through Jared's house.
The level of Jumanji.
Can you get like
Funny thing,
a water bed with a see-through mattress that you can put fish in?
I sat down in one of the display lawn chair, like picnic table, not picnic table, like the porch chair things that they had at Lowe's, and there's these women looking through all the house plants in there at the same time Scarlett was looking, and 2 younger ones like, oh well, yeah, I just bought my 75th plant, and and I've got like 77, and this little old lady,
Oh my gosh.
I've got over 150 house plants in my house, and I thought, Jesus Christ,
This sounds like a
This is my
houseplant
future.
cult.
this is my future.
And she's their queen.
Women, the new cat women.
Plant women, cat women,
Plant ladies.
yeah, exactly.
Old
Yeah,
plant lady.
ladies.
Is this about your carbon footprint, or is this something different?
No, I believe it's the same thing that led us to getting 2 puppies last year. The
He's
girls are
offsetting.
gone. The girls are gone, and she's got to have something to take care of.
Like
You need to
fish.
set up some trail cams in the house so you can see if she's waking up in the middle of the night and going around talking to the plants like with a little spritzer, cleaning the leaves of each one and going,
Well,
we're going to kill that son of a
She doesn't do that in the middle of the night. She does that all the time.
bitch."
I mean,
Talks
it's
to them all the
constant.
time.
Oh,
Yeah, but there might be some black magic going on when you're asleep.
that could be. It could be. But
Trail cam that bitch.
so, Kay, Joe Bob, I hope hope that's not too upsetting to hear that that your favorite aunt is
Poison ivy.
is a welcher and
Poison ivy.
heels.
I got all the decorations you need. We put some pothos coming out the top of it. You're set.
And I told her, I said, but I said, Joe Bob's pretty disappointed. And she said, Joe Bob's on my side. I said, I don't think you know what you're talking about. She said, she said, he's by blood. You're just marriage. And
Oh,
I said, yeah, but, I said,
she's
yeah,
playing
but
all the hard cards.
I don't take. I said, you don't take him on a Herculean adventure every Sunday night, and I do. And at which point, I
Good
think
point.
she conceded that.
Touche.
You know, if she were ever to start playing D&D, she might get Joe Bob in her pocket, but
She played with us for a while, and she act like when she's playing, she's really good. I mean, her role play is pretty spectacular, and her character concepts.
What are we
really
talking
good.
about here? D&D or
D&D.
oh, okay.
Well, that is a whole nother. That's a whole nother banter session, and we'll talk about
Do
that.
any of her D&D characters ever wear French
I
maid?
lived with the two of them, and I can't say.
Well, Jared does have that wizard's robe, so
Yes, he does.
I do.
He didn't have
there's a
What
magic
the hell?
wand right around his waist that is underneath it.
It's very short and fat.
It's got girth.
Like
The
the
robe
Oh,
of
right.
girth.
The robe with girth.
What kind of wood is that made out of? Is that
Girthy illusion.
got a unicorn feather in it?
Oh, God.
Or what it is?
I'm not even remotely close to ready. I don't have the story pages pulled up here or anything. So I got sidetracked by my story,
That's all right.
by my stories.
Well,
So-
by last canon standards, we got another 15 minutes, so you're
That's
way
right.
ahead of schedule.
I'm almost through with part 3.
Oh,
I've teared up a couple of times already.
yeah, it was bittersweet for sure.
I didn't feel like we really got a satisfactory ending to the campaign. I mean, they tied it all up with a bow of what they had been doing. The homebrew shit was nicely done, and it was a lot of work, and I really enjoyed it. But as far as like the way that the module is supposed to
And
reach its conclusion, I just didn't feel like I got it. That's me.
you know, I just didn't like that they didn't tie in the Brander with the Storm King. It just kind of felt like two
Would
separate
have been
things.
tough.
Well, that's what
I know
I'm
it
saying.
ended
It
up,
was,
I mean, it just felt.
and we did a good job with the Brander, and not so much with the Storm King.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed every bit of it. I just thought it was very departmentalized. You know, I thought it was discombobulated.
So looking back, what is your one scene? Your one favorite scene?
Lork getting catapulted.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. The Battle of True Now.
No, I don't know when he fights that duel with
That's
at,
pretty good too.
at the castle. Man, that has to be the best, man, because he just failed so epically.
I think personally, for me, it was anything that any episode Troy did Renfall.
Yeah, Renfall was phenomenal.
Renfall was always good.
And Razmataz.
Razzmatazz.
I was always up for some Thomas exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renfall though, he was amazing, man.
I mean, that
It's
was
like, sorcerer.
So good, so good.
Well, now we're gonna have to.
Alright,
What's
so-
their next campaign gonna be? I wonder. I haven't heard.
Well, they're
No, it's Pathfinder.
We're gonna do 2.0. I know that.
They've been.
Well,
I think he's creating his own homebrew campaign.
right now they're doing Strange Aeons. So they released all their live shows on the feed.
Yeah, but that's
They're gonna
old. That's
start-
before COVID.
But what they're going to do though is they're going to interweave their live shows with their regular stream. So they're going to finish up Strange Aeons and then so that's 1.5 and then 2.0 will kick off after that.
I just started Strange Aeons, so I don't
It's
really
really
know what's going on. It is.
I
good.
like it.
I like Mrs. Old Lady.
Yeah.
Shayla. Don't
Who
forget
lady?
Shayla.
What lady?
Ms. Old Lady.
Mrs. Old Lady.
Mrs. Old Lady.
Oh, I
is
haven't
character
seen that
name.
yet.
Oh God.
No spoilers.
That's Matthew.
Don't you be pulling a Jeff, God damn it.
Don't do it. That's my. Hey, I'm the only one allowed to do that.
All right. So last week, you guys got to Eastmere and you got to the end of Narbondale Shadow. You got yourselves all settled in. Alstel went to meet his contacts with the Council of Spiders. You were trailed through town as you recall, and Mr. Stealthy, Black Aaron, couldn't keep track of the tail. He kind of blew it there, but then so you had all that stuff going on, and then you woke up the next morning, and Zilchin was nowhere to be found. Alstel came back and said that the Council of Spiders was no more. And then you guys all unexpectedly leveled up. So before we do anything else, I'd like to hear a little bit about the level up. I know for some of you it's probably bigger than others because of what level you are and what you took at which class and so forth. I know pretty sure that Chance took the classic barbarian dip, it goes so well with
Bard dip,
with the
yeah.
Bard. So I guess that's 13th level Bard, first level barbarian. It's a classic.
We'll see.
So yeah, if you guys want to tell me what you guys tell me a little bit about your level up. We'll start with Black Aaron. He's at the top of the combat tracker.
Black Aaron has become a level 4 druid. And he suddenly is himself Eldritch Adept.
Eldritch Adept.
What does that mean?
He can see in pitch black, magical darkness.
So yeah, he took a Eldritch Invocation. He took Devil's Sight.
Join the club.
And he
Very cool.
can see in darkness up to 120 now. There's no limitations.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Darkness, magical darkness, and regular darkness looks like daylight to
Yep.
you. So,
All
very
right.
cool, man. You can't marry anything better with the Gloomstalker than that. Now you just need to get the darkness spell somehow.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. But
Well, we torment
There's some
and
people
also
that
Zilchin
cast.
Zilchin's gone. What the fuck?
so Master Shin, what did you do at on the level up?
It was a big level up for me. Level 6 sorcerer. I'm gonna keep this a kind of a secret until it comes out. So, but
Okay, that's fine.
he's got a special ability. It's really cool. Well, I like it, and it's mainly just. I don't know how
cool.
great it is, but it's
It's fun.
it's gonna be good flavor wise. And then I'm torn between a spell. I don't know if I should take haste to kind of return the favor to Valor because he twins me a lot with that. And I could twin him back, or I could twin Daiki or whoever's close. Or there was a spell called Minute Meteors. You guys seen that? It looks pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
Is that in Tasha's or something?
It looks really cool, and I wanted to take it because it could give me some area of effect damage from 120 feet away, and it's like 12d6 over 3 rounds, but it's 4d6. You can do either 2d6 or 4d6. You can shoot one of them for 2d6, or you can shoot 2 of them. There's 6 little meteor things, and you can shoot them, for 120 feet. And if you plop it right in the middle of about 4 or 5 guys, it'll hit all of them. And I can do 2 of them for 4d6 fire damage. But I'm thinking to myself, man, most things are probably going to be resistant to fire right now. So I think I'm just going to take
Noob
haste.
had that, I think, at the end of the campaign of R20. I think I had that.
Yeah, but I think I'm just going to take haste because Shin makes his money on his attacks because the more attacks the better, and he can stun, try to get more chances to stun. So I think I'm going to just take haste, and then that way we can get several of us hasted up. But that's it for me, and you'll see the class feature later.
Valor.
I've just felt more of my dragon lineage pop out, so I want another sorcerer, and I can do level
What
4
level are
spells
you now?
Level 7 sorcerer. I just took a, blue dragonish type spell with first electric damage, and it's I think I took Storm of Spheres. So if somebody ends in it, gets a 20-foot globe sphere. And if somebody starts their turn in it or ends their turn in it, saving throw 2d6 bludgeoning. But every turn I can use my bonus action to cause a bolt of lightning to leap out 60 feet for 4d6 lightning.
Sweet.
Excellent.
That's gonna be stupid.
So that's like an extra 46 if I hit. I can swing twice and then do that as my bonus, so I can get some damage down.
Awesome.
I almost took Ice Storm because it's a non-concentration. Would help some. A little bit of crowd control-ish type stuff. But I decided against it since I did the Storm Sphere. I went ahead and took Dimension Door just in case I need to get up and get out.
Sweet. Very powerful you are.
All right.
Waiting for the next one more. I have to go one more sorcerer to get. I don't need an ability point increase anything, so I'll probably do Meta Magic Adept so I can get more of those pieces and do one more.
Yeah, because I've got
Type
4
of-
now.
Because if I can do Careful, then that'll be beneficial too.
I have
Right now, I just have Twinned and Quickened, so.
All right. Chance, aka Wham, aka the
Wham.
Dragon Whisperer.
AKA.
Nasmus.
Well, I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. I took level 14 Bard, which made me a level 14 Lore Bard, which is my last level of. I'm sorry, that's not true. It's my second to last. I think it actually is my last level of Lore Bard features. Beyond that, I think it's just Bard stuff. I don't think there's anything that's Lore Bard specific. But I got Magical Secrets, which is huge. I get to pick any 2 spells in the game that are levels 1 through 7 from any spell list.
That's crazy.
So that is crazy. I did not go as crazy as I might have, I have to say. I put a lot of thought into it. And I thought about my character. I thought about the campaign that we're in. And I ended up, I already told you guys, I took Rary's Telepathic Bond, which means that I can pick any 8 willing creatures, and we will all be psychically linked to one another. We can speak to each other, so I thought that would be good if we're going to be doing some covert operations while we're here in Minzabaranzan.
Is that
And
permanent, or is that concentration, or what?
it's a ritual, which is nice.
Awesome.
And so I don't
casting
have to
time
burn
on
a
that.
spell slot. And it lasts an hour. It only
Oh,
lasts
that's
an hour.
awesome. Still though, that's killer. No concentration.
So we'll have to pick when we want to do it, and we'll have to have 10 minutes to prepare if we're going into like a
Good luck with that 10
situation. I know.
I've gotten interrupted on that catnap a couple times.
I know. Well, it's something that we'll want to use if we're planning a deal. So, and I juggled some other stuff around a little bit. Since we had acquired that fortress, I dropped my Layman's Tiny Hut and swapped out a different spell for that, which would be fun. And I mean, there was some crazy level 7 wizard spells that were on the menu, and I steered away from them. I thought they just
There's a lot of
didn't
really cool
seem-
7th level stuff.
Instead, he
I-
just added Magic Missile.
That's right. Hell yeah.
So anyway, I did take Contingency, which is a pretty cool wizard spell,
What does that do?
and we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see when it comes up.
Cool.
So
Jai Key. Oh, sorry. You still going?
the other thing I can do, just FYI, is I can use one of my bardic inspirations on one of my skill checks if I choose to. So any skill check I do, if I don't roll as well as I would like, I
That's
can roll
huge.
a D10
Concentration and stuff.
and add it and I can look after I roll my check, but before Jared tells me the result.
I mean, that's monstrous for a city environment like this where you got to use persuasions and stuff. And
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
larger go monkeys, so I'm pretty stacked on skills.
Daiki, what you got?
Daiki is now a level 6 monk on the path of the Kensei, and that gives her 2 new key abilities. First of which is, let me find it again, Empowered Strikes. So her unarmed strikes count as magical
Okay.
sweet.
if I spend a key point to make them so.
So you're L6
Right.
monk, level 6 monk. What are you otherwise, James?
Level 6 fighter. So level 12
fighter.
overall.
She's pretty powerful, man. I mean, she reboots everything on a short rest. Everything. So,
She also gets Deft Strike, which gives her, it's basically like, shoot, now I can't remember, like a sneak attack. You get an extra die on the attack roll you hit. Again,
Okay.
costs a key point.
You hit or for
That's
damage
it.
or
That's for damage.
okay.
So 1 extra die equal to her martial arts die.
and I think we're both
Pretty
at
attack
1d6 right now.
All right. Torment.
Torment didn't get nothing. He's just the same.
Yeah, whatever.
No, so he switched. He still only has 3 spell slots, so no big deal there. But I did switch up some spells, trying to just flesh that out a little bit more. But my big thing was the level 14 Warlock ability called Master of Hexes. So because I've only got 3 spell slots, I don't cast Hexblade's Curse a lot. But now when I
You don't need
cast
a- you don't
Hex,
need a slot for Hexblade's Curse. You can do that once per rest.
oh, you're right. That's not what I meant. Now when I cast Hexblade's Curse, I get a lot more out of it. Not only will I get Armor of Hexes, which I can deflect 50% of any hits against me from someone who is Hexblade's cursed. I can also use Maddening Hex as a bonus action that causes a psychic disturbance around someone who has Hexblade's curse and automatically causes damage to them. But now Master of Hexes, I can. It's not a one-shot sally. So when that person with the Hexblade's curse is dead now, I can now transfer my Hexblade's curse to another person. And something I found out today that I had no idea worked is you can stack Hex and Hexblade's curse. As long as
And
I'm
how
not
often
constant.
can you do Hexblade's Curse?
Once per short rest.
It's 1 minute.
Maybe 3 times.
Oh, how long can I do it? I can do it. It's 1 minute, and I can use it once per short rest. So 3 times a day.
If we take our rests.
If we take our rests, which short rests are really my bread and butter. If we can get them in, but
Mine too. Really, Daiki's as well. She reboots everything too.
but once I get that Hexblade's curse going, I have a lot more damage and defense things that I can do.
Got a little more juice behind it.
Yeah, I got a little bit more.
Cutting out big time, Jeff.
Oh,
Level
is that-
14 is no joke, ladies.
No, it's not. Plus, I got some more hit
Well,
points. So
He's not in the party anymore, but let's hear about what Zilchin did.
13th level wizard is pretty uneventful. I now have a 7th level spell slot, and I added 2 new spells to the book. One that every wizard should have that I didn't realize I didn't have is now Counterspell.
Perfect.
And the other one I took is Wall of Force, 5th level.
Cool.
That is really cool when you read it to where it can't be. It goes into both planes, ethereal as well. You can't be destroyed by physical. It also can't be dispelled by dispel magic. It can only be destroyed by disintegrate, basically. And it also extends to the ethereal plane, so you can't travel through it in that plane. And you can choose either a wall or like a dome. And it lasts for 10 minutes.
Note to self: add disintegration to all NPCs.
Force Cage is the next upgrade then. I almost took Force Cage, but it's very expensive to do, but it's also super cool because you can't leave it without like teleport or anything like that.
It's not clear actually whether or not you can disintegrate a Force Cage. That's something, Jared, you should probably investigate.
Okay.
Yep. Force Cage is different to where you can't leave it to leave it with like a teleport or something like that. You have to make a roll on it as well, and if you fail that, they waste that spell slot and are still stuck in it.
Did you take Force Cage or Force Wall?
I did not. I took Wall of Force instead of Force Cage because Force Cage is a 7th level and it is very expensive to do, so I decided not to grab that one.
Plus, how many level 7 spell slots do you have?
I only have one right now. Yeah, this is the one I just got, which means I can now use the spell that you gave me earlier that I read off the scroll, which is Reverse Gravity.
I'd like to get that.
Oh, I can't wait.
So actually, I need to back up. When we did our little check of our character sheets to make sure that everything was right, I found a mistake on my character sheet that was completely my doing. I had accidentally put Maddening Hex under my invocations. So I thought I had 6, but I only had 5. So I picked up a new invocation, or I added my 6th invocation that I didn't have. And I got Ghostly Gaze, which now allows me to see through walls to see what's on the other side of them. Walls and doors.
All the time?
All the time.
Nice, man. That's cool. No need for my clairvoyance anymore.
I could have taken Sculptor of Flesh. I thought about Sculptor of Flesh, which is basically a free. Oh shoot! What is it?
Somebody foaming a latte or something?
What was it? That polymorph. It's like a free polymorph spell. The Sculptor of Flesh. But I didn't know how much that would come into play. So. But Ghostly Gaze, I could see with a range of 30 feet. I can. I have dark vision. If I have dark vision, if I don't already have it, the special sight lasts for 1 minute or until your concentration ends. During that time, you perceive objects as ghostly, transparent images. Once uses so walls and doors, nothing to me.
All right.
Yeah, Ted, a sorcerer can swap out one spell every time he levels up.
Yeah, I already swapped out one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm still gonna keep it because I need it for, like, if I want to get inside somewhere, I can shadow step through my clairvoyance. So.
All right.
So I got you there, Jeff.
Yeah, you did.
Let's begin, shall we? Let's get down to the.
It's the first morning in the inn. And Zilchin is gone. Is that where we are?
Zilchin is gone. Yeah, that's where we are. You guys have come down to your private little room where you guys hang out and do whatever it is you do. You have your meetings and your things like that. So yeah, you got you've discovered Zilchin's nowhere to be found. He didn't come down for breakfast. He's not in his room. Don't know where he is, and Alstel has come back and said the circle of spiders is no more. That's where we are.
First things first, I think we would all say, who last saw Zilchin? When did we last see him? Did anybody see him leave?
one saw him leave. No one in your party saw him leave.
We'll have to ask.
Did he leave the headband behind?
Is Dalfred Noakes in the room with us?
No, you guys are just come down to.
Okay.
I don't think we have a webinar this morning.
It's after your morning constitutionals. You've come downstairs and you're doing, getting ready for the day, prepping, having your pitch meetings and all that stuff.
Well, I think we would all be somewhere between concerned and suspicious about Zilchin being missing after the first night in Menzo Baronzon. We would be. This is either very concerning or very suspicious, or both.
And I'll say, well, he hasn't been in Menzo Baronzon in a long time. Maybe he had family he wanted to visit. Say hi.
Okay, so Baylor's standing up for him, speaking up for him, not reading anything into
I'm suspicious of Valor now.
All right, good to know.
I'd say this isn't a family reunion. We're here on business.
Shin will say to Black Aaron, do you see any clues to track?
He's just gonna just mumble to you. If you all let me kill the fucker to begin with, we've never had a problem.
Shin says you have my blessing.
Then he will roll a survival check.
Okay, so tell me where are you looking? What are you looking for?
Sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, traveled with this guy for how long now? I mean, we all got our separate rooms. I mean, he would know what his shoe print looks like by now. I mean, he'll look see if he can see where it leads out of the thing, or I mean, just any clue whatsoever. I mean, breaking each room.
Okay, give me an investigation check and a survival check.
All right, here will be investigation. And I don't know why I have advantage on everything.
Roll with advantage.
I have no idea.
Alright.
Why it might have no, I shouldn't have it on that. Let me see here.
I don't see.
Longbow of warnings give me advantage on intelligence.
No, initiative.
It's initiative.
Yeah, but that's what.
Is it written? Is it right? Is it correct?
I think it says intelligence, not initiative.
It says ADVINT.
It's INIT.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So let me just fix that here real quick.
Yeah, take it off of the combat tracker first, and then put it back on.
All right.
Well, just take out the eye when you do investigation checks and add the eye when you do initiative.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
It's still good.
You should have
Well, did
advantage
you
in your
fix
survival check, though. Oh, no, only on favorite enemy.
Let's see. Where's the effect for your?
What's your favorite enemy?
You also, I think,
Is your favorite enemy Drow?
No.
It is now.
Was abilities. Favorite enemy. East.
Cards.
Beasts. I mean,
I
I'll
think
be
favorite
honest.
enemy also has.
I threw that in there. Before I
Overweight.
ever had a story made up for EB. I mean, by all means, story-wise, it would not be Beast, but
All right, try it now.
okay. Let's see. Investigation check. Still advantage.
No. Good lord, what's going on?
EB is just so damn good. He cannot be.
He can't not roll it again.
Oh, I see.
Does he have the ADV in his?
He's got ADV SKILL, so he's got it on all skills. Is that what he's done?
Yeah, it did it on all skills.
Woo! I need to do that.
He's got a semicolon instead of a
Okay.
colon.
Okay.
Survival.
That's turned off now.
Yep. Now try it.
Oh,
There we go.
Looky there. Looky there.
All right, now give me your survival, and you do this one with advantage. Zero.
I don't think I'll need it. Or do I?
Well,
It can't hurt to try.
yeah.
I'll roll
go
it
ahead.
again.
Do it. Okay, so Dalfred Noakes keeps a pretty clean inn. There's no dust or anything on the floors. You do notice, though, that it looks like someone has messed with the lock on the outside of Zilchin's door.
It's a trap.
Maybe it happened long before Zilchin ever occupied that room. Maybe it happened last night.
Maybe somebody came to get him.
Yeah.
His lock.
They're taking out the spiders. Maybe he was part of it and they took him out.
I never thought he might be a part of the circle of spiders.
But why would they need to pick his lock for that? Couldn't they just like give
Break
a
into
secret
his
little
door.
knock or something?
Just break into his door. I don't know. To be stealthy.
Yeah.
So there's no blood in his room or anything?
What's in his room, DM?
It's empty.
None of his possessions.
None of his possessions are there.
Hmm.
Curious.
Curiouser and curiouser.
What would you like to do?
He's gonna let the group know.
I would like to question Dalfred Noakes and his staff as to anybody saw anyone come and go, Zilchin, or anybody approach his room, anything like that.
Okay. What were you gonna say, EB?
Oh hell, I can't remember what I just even said, so don't feel bad.
All right. So Dalfred comes into the room, into your all's meeting room, private dining room area. This is very upsetting. Let me ask around the staff and see if anyone saw anything. But I certainly didn't see anything as I was cleaning up last night. Didn't see anything this morning. Very curious. And you can see he's a little bit shaken by this, you know. Maine is always a safe place for surfacers and outsiders.
I would
That's
do
to be when there
an
are no
inside
safe
check on
places.
Noakes.
Go ahead. What was that, Taiki?
In a city where there are no safe places, you claim your house is safe.
Yeah, I try to make it as safe as I can. Okay.
No signs of struggle in the room. Just the door.
the lockpick. Alfred seems to be genuinely bothered by this. You know, he seems to be telling the truth. He didn't see anything, but he's definitely bothered by this. That this would happen under his roof. That, you know, when you share that the lock has been picked, you know. The only thing I don't know. Maybe it happened long before, but I certainly never noticed it here. No one's ever made any complaints about any locks being picked. Are you sure he wouldn't have left on his own somewhere? Maybe picked the lock to throw you off your scent, maybe.
I don't think he has those skills.
He picked
Not sure
his
what to
own
think.
lock.
I don't know.
While I've got your ear, Dalfred, I've got a couple other questions, if I could.
Yes, by all means. Of course, of course.
Does the Council of Spiders mean anything to you?
I don't know what that would be. No.
Okay.
And Alistair looks at you kind of cross-eyed, like, why are you telling anybody about the Council of Spiders?
Well, it doesn't exist anymore, so I don't think we can make that any worse than it is.
Well, we haven't questioned him yet either.
Yeah.
How about the Bandersnatch gang?
I've heard rumors of some new gang of youths, misguided youths running around. Youths running around Menzo Baranzan. Rumor has it that they're, well, off the teachings of Loth. And they're worshiping some other demon. Yenogu or Demogorgon or some such. I don't know which.
I hear they're very flumious.
They be asking for trouble for themselves and anyone associated with them for sure.
Shin will say to Alstel, in his telepathically, so nobody's gonna hear him. Speaking of the Council of Spiders, what are we to do now without them?
I do not know. I will have to think on this for a bit. I will see if I can make contact with some other old acquaintances. It will make our job much more difficult. And he's a little panicked by this.
Does he know what happened to them, or is they're all just missing?
They're gone. Every one of them is gone. I went to the safe house, to the meeting place. It's been ransacked, destroyed, and vandalized, and I can only think that one of the matrons must have caught wind of them and put an end to the organization. Whether or not they're all destroyed or all killed or have fled, I do not know, but they have definitely been discovered.
It's one of those that's going to be hard.
Looking around the room, looking under the bed, while everybody else is talking.
It's going to be hard to find any clues to their awareness, because as we see, if the houses go to war, if anybody knows about it, then it failed. So I don't know that they'll probably have it secreted about if they did something.
Daiki finds a couple of dust bunnies under the bed.
A clue.
Highly suspicious dust bunnies.
This proves that Noakes is not cleaning as much as he should.
Do these bunnies have knives?
Several.
That's no ordinary bunny.
Look at the bones.
Alright.
I'm gonna say to Dalford Noakes, I'm gonna say, you confided in us last night that this is a safe haven against the drow, and you know other people who are perhaps not as friendly to the drow and would be like-minded, such as yourself. I've already told you that, you know, we're here and our anonymity is paramount. We're relying on you and your safe haven to avoid attention while we're in this city. Do you know anybody else who would be like-minded?
Well, I know some people. I don't know if I would necessarily classify them as against the drow or against the mage and mothers, but they certainly, I would say they certainly put themselves first. But they are not enemies of the city or enemies of Loth. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But perhaps some one of them can help. I don't know. I don't know how I will put it out. And at that point, there comes a knock at the door. And
The guy who appears
the young lady, the half drow that you recognize now that she is a half drow, but has many human features, but she's got darker skin and light hair, but not white hair like you would expect to see on a drow. And, you know, ears are pointed, but not super pointed. And you know her to be the adopted daughter of Dalford. Sticks her head in, and she motions to her father, and he walks over to her, and she bends down and whispers in his ear. And he looks up at her, and he nods and says, "Show him in." And she disappears for a moment, and the door opens up, and in walks the drow that was tailing you for much of your walk through the city yesterday.
Surprise attack.
He pulls out his crossbow.
He's a drow.
Yep.
Daiki pulls out her sword.
And Dalford steps up and says, "Hey, there be no need for that. This gentleman be a friend of mine. And I believe he may be able to help you." And his name, he walks in and he says, "My name is Krylin Hakar. K-R-I-L-E-L-E-L-Y-N. K-R-I-L-E-L-Y-N.
Drow names are crazy.
H''K-A-R.
Dr. Hafar.
Krylin Hakar.
Hakar.
That'd be fun to rhyme something with.
And, Melmahay. Is he armed?
He's got a sword, but it's hilted, and there's a hand crossbow hanging at his belt, but he has nothing in his hands.
Who's that feedback coming from?
Yeah, there's some. Sounds like static.
I can see the audio thing on yours going.
Is it James? I think it's James.
Is it me?
Yep,
Let
down
me
to
try
stop.
muting.
Oh, you're good now.
You're not using Samsung earbuds, are you?
No, it was AirPods.
No, it's gone now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
gone now.
hearing anything now.
That's a Samsung.
It may not have been James. Yeah, I don't know. It's gone. Whatever it was, it's gone. So, he says, "Allow me to introduce myself. I am Krylin Hakar. I am a member of a certain organization here in the city. Your acquaintance, Zilchin, is also a member of that organization. He has been missing for some time. We came by in the night and we took him to see our leader.
Oh, so you're kidnapped.
Our leader has asked that you please join me, and I will take you to see
Name
him."
your organization.
He looks at each of you, gives you the old Larry David look, checking each one of you out very intently. "I am a member of a mercenary group known as Brigand Earth. We are known throughout the city, and we have special privileges. Now, if you all would join me, I will take you to see your friend and take you to see our leader."
Who is your leader?
To be seen when you meet.
As soon as I finish my waffles.
Dalford speaks up. "Krylin, you may as well tell him. These are good folk. I think they're here to help. I think they can help, be helpful for us. Be helpful for you, be helpful for the city." And he looks again, takes a moment. Reaches down onto Torment's plate, picks up a piece of waffle and a rothe sausage. "Wonderful as always, Dalford.
I
My
sneer.
leader's name is Jarlaxle."
What?
Never heard of him.
Can you spell that?
Now,
Please
how,
help me.
all joking aside, how
Yep.
well known would that name be?
To you guys, probably not well known at all. Torment might.
I've
know.
heard the name though. Where we heard the name before?
Drizzt.
Huh?
Yeah.
Drizzt.
Oh, he's a big,
That's why.
he's a very
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah, he's all
I
throughout.
just didn't know where I'd heard the name, and it was Drizzt.
Yep.
So.
He bangs dragons and all sorts of stuff. You know?
Dragon banger.
So, safe houses across the city. You will need to disguise yourselves once again. And Torment, you believe everything, and you're a little gobsmacked by the fact that you might be going to meet Jarlaxle. Not that you're, you just know that name. You know Jarlaxle. You know he's been around. And
I'll do an insight.
You're fanboying just a little bit.
Before we head out, I'm gonna go up and get my my book so I can get his autograph.
Yes, get your autograph diary.
But
I'm going to
Dike
ask
is a
him
former-
if Jarlaxle is working for Grompt Banreich.
Jarlaxle
They
works
seem to
for
have the
himself.
same last name.
I didn't say Jarlaxle's last name. I just said
Oh,
Jarlaxle.
my fault. All right, my fault.
You just only.
So I
read
wouldn't know
connection.
Yeah, no one really knows that.
And nobody else really knows that either. That's not something that's.
Okay.
James, what were you saying?
So Dike is a former Berg, and she's highly suspicious here.
Okay.
Would there be anything that she could ask for? I guess she would want to ask for some token of trust here, like prove to me who you are, who you say you are, you work for who you say. What assurances of our safety can you give?
Talford, did you not just vouch for me?
We just met him yesterday.
I did. I did vouch for you. I don't know what else to say. And Krelelin, damn, that sucks. Says,
Just call him Carl.
Carl Baker.
if Jarlaxle and Bragan Dareth wanted you dead, you would already be dead. Now,
I'll come with you, but my hand is not leaving this hilt.
very well.
It will if
And-
we're acting like slaves, Dike.
And he just, you can puff up and peacock about all you want. He is not impressed by any of you folks at all.
None of us.
14th level, you can go suck a big one. He does not care.
Aaron Black's head just exploded.
I mean, EB is just dying on the inside.
Now, EB, give me a history check. You've lived your whole life in the Underdark. You might know.
Oh, there we go. History.
Alright, it's happening again.
Yep.
Is that EB?
Yeah, that noise is back.
I heard the echo that time.
All I'm hearing is static.
I'd hear static too. But I don't need more.
I'm not hearing that at all.
EB, you don't really know. You guys are getting the rough rolls out early.
Yeah, sure are.
Let's hope.
We hope.
All right.
All right, I'm going to ask this guy.
Sorry. I know, because I lived my whole life down here too. He was.
Give me a history
slave.
check.
Okay, history. Not my best. Alright, here we go. History.
Better?
Yeah, Torment, you definitely know Jarlaxle. You know that he is a flamboyant, well-known, very influential drow in the city.
Torment's very upset because he left his poster of Jarlaxle on his wall back in.
Yeah, exactly. He runs this.
Team Beat magazine.
He runs this mercenary group, and so yeah, you definitely know. You know the name. You know that if Jarlaxle is wanting to see you guys, it's kind of something must be up.
Jarlaxle was played by 1987 Rob Lowe.
Perfect.
He's got that one earring kind of dangling down.
I say we go and find out where Zildjian is and see what he has to offer.
So we are going to wherever Zildjian is, presumably.
That's what he's told you. He's going to take you to his boss and to where Zildjian is, or where Zildjian is.
What disguises do you recommend for this journey, and where are we going?
We're going across the city, and I would say that the disguise yesterday are most likely adequate.
We going back the way we came?
I'll ask him how my acting was, keeping my eyes down and shuffling.
That is the best that you can do.
He's going as a mercenary this time, not as a slave. She's not giving up her sword behind this guy.
Okay.
He just that guy says that he just switches over to a drow instantly, like he's just shell shocked and no one like he's a nobody.
I will cast disguise self on myself, and I'll do disguise kit on Shan again. Do you want me to give a performance check?
The advantage because you did it once already.
Nat 20.
Oh, 36.
Shin looks in the mirror. He's like, "Can you do that again? You made my, you didn't hide my wrinkles."
All right. So.
The best application I've ever.
Yeah.
That's what that
Now you got little
do,
like
boys. Beware.
snot bubbles since you're a kid. You got little snot bubbles on.
Yeah.
Oh, your hands are just wet, sticky for no reason.
Got chocolate around my lips.
So what are you doing for disguise, Jackie?
He's just not going in disguise. Carrying a sword, walking behind this guy.
As a human.
So you and EB could probably walk together as mercenaries or whatever. But
I was thinking I should just walk right next to EB.
Well, EB's already switched over. He is
switched over.
distraught.
Black Aaron, the drow.
oh yeah, I forgot.
He's went back to Black Aaron.
So EB is distraught because they don't know who he is.
Oh yes.
Is what you're telling me. Or that this guy, that Kyrellin, is
I'm
not
kind of a big
impressed by
deal.
him. I gotcha. Okay. All right. So does anyone? So you're gonna, and Daiki's not gonna disguise. She's gonna put like a hood up or anything like that.
But that's just going to be like. But
I don't know if this is a good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
somebody
I see
needs
we have a
to
little
talk
conversation.
around
That's a
it,
good idea.
she's-
Master
her
Shin's
back
gonna
is
talk to
up.
her, and he's gonna say, "Daiki, remember your training." He's gonna say, "You must appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. Now is the time. Appear weak. We all know you're strong."
I'll lean in and say, "Didn't you just get your magical hands? So you don't really need your sword."
Fine.
I
She
implore
hands
you.
her sword over. Who's carrying her sword in the back hole?
I've
Jim's
got,
got my stuff, so probably Mormon or Wham.
yeah, one of
Yeah,
theirs.
I can
I
carry it.
can carry a weapon as a. What kind of a weapon would a priestess have?
A
DM.
whip.
Oh, yeah, you have to have a 9-tail whip. but
Tentacle
like,
rod.
Yeah.
I've got a tentacle rod.
Yep.
You can't use it though.
I'm not attuned to it. That is correct.
You can put it on your belt if you want.
I'm trying
They
to
would
think what
expect
could I
priestess
give to
to-
Daiki if we got into a crack or in front of you, right?
You can't wear a sword.
Daiki can fight
Yeah, she's
hand to
got.
hand.
Yeah, she's still a D6 magical damage.
Yeah, I think letting her walk through town as Daiki, the human, is a bad idea.
Well, that's how she
she'll-
walks.
she'll
on.
go as a
She just has
slave.
to act like a slave. Yeah. We just have to
Yeah.
stare at the ground.
She'll-
and
Yeah.
follow.
She'll act as a slave. She'll take Master Shin's guidance, hand over her sword. She's looking around her person to see if she can stash her nunchucks. So
Get some throwing stars in her belt.
I think she could maybe hide a weapon. Something smaller than a sword.
She's got plus one
Fists or
nunchucks.
weapons.
That would look bad upon you if we were caught. What if she was noticed with a weapon?
can she hide like the nunchucks down the back of her shirt?
If you'd like.
Waffly.
Sure.
Like under her hair, right? So it wouldn't be noticed.
But we do like chopsticks in her hair, and they're actually daggers,
Nunchucks.
stilettos. All right. So he says we are going to the far northwestern edge. It will take a while. I will take you through a few back ways.
Is Alpha fronted?
We just came from there.
If we are confronted by anyone, please allow me to deal with them. And he's ready to go whenever you guys are. As you finish up your waffles.
I will. I'll spend 10 minutes and put the telepathy on us. I can do 8 of us. How many are there?
So you can do 10. So you're going to do 10 minutes for your inspiring leader and 10 minutes for your telepathy.
I would have already. Well, presumably I would have already done the inspiring leader.
Okay.
And I would do the while we're getting ready to go, I would do the ritual for the telepathy. I can do 8 of them. 1, 2,
Well, with
3,
Austal,
4,
there's 8
5,
of
6,
them.
7, 8. So I need to leave out somebody. Either
do 8.
Austal or.
Yeah, you'd have to leave out. I would assume you'd leave out Carolina.
Yeah, Carl.
Carol.
Let's leave Carl out so he can talk behind his back.
Carl's out.
Okay.
Parallelogram.
All right. So he takes you off, heading back the direction from whence you came yesterday, walking as if he owns the place. And you go, basically he's taking you more through, if you're looking at the map, you see the big giant map, kind of takes you up around the edges of Narbindellen, and you go right underneath the Narbindel, the giant stone light, yep, going right through there. And you are making your way, actually.
What part of town is Narbindellen? How would you say that is?
Narbindellen is right in the middle.
Yeah, but what kind of part of town is it?
Oh, what kind of part of town is that? These are large estates, and it's kind of elevated. They look down on the other parts of the city. So this is, these are nobles, but not the highest of nobles. You do see a lot of patrols here. You don't see, you see, there's been damage here for sure, but it has been much further along in the repairs. You see where some maybe like bases of statues were that may have been destroyed during the rampage, and they have been completely picked up, unlike other areas, and
They always go after the statues.
reconstructed. And
Are there any statues of Lolth anywhere?
yes, there are some, and there's some that have been torn down and have clearly been put back up. There's but yeah, so this looks a little better shape than the other parts of the city.
Okay.
This is not the wealthiest part of the city, but it is certainly wealthier than other parts that you've been through so far. Lots of patrols, and they don't even, clearly these official patrols, they don't even look at them. You even walk by one minor, what looks like probably a minor noble entourage, and they stand to the side for this guy and allow you all to pass, which is unusual. You certainly haven't seen that kind of deference before.
Does he have any kind of a badge or any kind of
Nope.
anything that's obvious that marks him as? So we're
Nope.
assuming they recognize his face.
They recognize his face, apparently.
I'm going to the House of Dwarden as we are walking. BB, we got there like, are you with the Drow Priestess Ilvara?
The what?
The Drow Priestess Ilvara.
Ilvara?
Yes.
Giddy up.
It does not sound familiar to me.
Oh.
Perhaps I've betted her at some point, but I recall.
Oh, he's gonna try to tell him like this big story of like how he's a bit of a mercenary himself.
Can you roll an insight check for?
All right, let's hear it.
Oh God.
On the spot.
That's definitely Joe Bob. Whenever he starts talking, you hear the.
I can hear it.
Yeah. Stopped. Back.
No, I'm hearing it. It's gone.
Joe's
So,
watching
what's-
the car auctions while we play D&D.
He's
watching
watching
the car.
Not around anything. My AC's running, but that's about it.
It's just some interference somewhere. So let's hear your story that you're telling this guy.
Oh, he's like, but he's not going to do it out loud because he don't want to embarrass himself, so he's going to do it through sport talk.
Okay.
He's going to tell him how he's a bit of a mercenary and a gun for hire himself. He has quite notable kills in the Drow Priest so far, and several of her minions. Countless others along the way dragged off Nono in the dragon. But yeah, he's just gonna talk himself up real big. It's like, oh, you sure you haven't heard of me? Sure you don't want none of this?
You pull out your hand crossbow like Ringo and like do the whole flip thing. And...
He says, I don't. He looks at you and just says out loud, I don't know who you are, friend, but it would be wise not to advertise the murder of Drow priestesses here in the middle of Menzo Baronzon. It's a fine way to get yourself killed in a heartbeat.
I do
And he just keeps on walking.
I'm half dead.
Yeah, you're half dead already.
I picture him just exactly like Will Ferrell in Anchorman, who's like, I'm kind of a big deal.
That's right. So you eventually come to, if you look at your map, underneath the cliff wall, past Luff's Web, you come to House Dort. And this drow house stands alone and forlorn with its back against the west wall of Menzo Baronzon's great vault. Its towers are dark, its walls crumbling, and it is in desperate need of repair. This old fortress has the countenance of a haunted ruin, but here and there you glimpse signs of life. Drow in black leather armor standing guard in the shadows, and magical flames dancing in stone braziers that flank the entrance. As you are led inside, a pillared hall strewn with broken statuary looms all around you. Leaning against a cracked pillar is a drow with an eye patch and a wide-brimmed hat. A saber hangs from his hip, and he cuts quite the dashing figure. Well met, friends, he says with a smile. Zilchin, come out. Your acquaintances, your friends, they have joined us. Quickly, to the parlor. Let us have a drink. And he just flirting with a cape, his cape billows out around him as he turns around flamboyantly and starts walking down the hall. And just shows no concern, has no concern whatsoever that this party of armed individuals just strolled into his home.
Joe Bob, can you mute that?
I'm going to, since we're just walking in and everything, I'm going to grab my sword and shield out of Shin's bag just so I have them.
Kyrillin says, there's no need for that, friend. And all around you hear just not the sound of swords being drawn completely from their scabbards, but certainly the start of many swords being drawn from their scabbards. And Jarlaxle says, without even turning around, You don't need those today, my friend. Not if we are to work together, as I expect we will.
Not for you. I just saw that you had no care for my other friends having weapons. So what was the difference that I have in them right now?
There's a difference in having them on your belts, having them in your bags, and reaching for them. And he just continues to walk down the hall. And opens up some double doors, and you go into this room, and you notice that getting up from a divan is your good friend Zilch.
And then a crossbow bolt hits him right in the eye. Small tip.
My friend.
Yield it is. You guys finally made it.
Could have left us a note.
I knew Carl would come, so that would have just been a waste of paper, you know.
Joe Bob, man, can you kill that?
Hey, but
It's not him.
I
He said
think
he's
it's
got his mic
James.
muted.
When I mute
I don't
James,
know
it
who
goes away.
Yeah, I just talked through my mic going. I've had it muted this whole time.
So it's
Oh,
from you
okay.
the whole time.
It's not me. It's not me. Yay!
As soon as James muted it, stopped.
Yeah,
I don't hear it now.
Yeah, I don't hear it either.
Weird.
Okay, so just speak up whenever you want to, James. There, you don't have to keep it muted the whole time.
Can you do push to talk, James? Or?
Yeah, do push the talk.
Does Jarlaxle still just walk?
Jarl Axel's come into the room, and he's gone over to the bar, and he's pouring
But
drinks.
you can see Zilchin almost stand at attention, more of like, kind of stands more upright.
With respect.
Yeah, you've never really seen Zilchin kind of really.
He actually does not have this
Much.
pain right now.
Yeah, he doesn't look just absolutely pissed right now. He actually looks somewhat happy,
That's cool.
somewhat respected.
Is he still wearing the headband of intellect?
So when you mention that, he actually goes into his bag, he's kind of digging it around, and he goes, I forgot, but I do believe that this belongs to one of you. I don't remember exactly who, and he holds out the headband of intellect. And
I'll
whoever
say, I seem to recall Master Shin being in possession of that at one point.
Master Shin will
Jarlax.
say. Go ahead.
Jarl Axel speaks up. Please, do not mind my good friend Zilchin. Zilchin has long been an acquaintance, and, well, an agent of mine, and he was off doing some business for me when it seems he was overtaken by some sort of madness. Please, forgive him for any transgressions. He has shared with me a little bit of what he recalls since joining you, but quite frankly, he doesn't quite remember how he came to be where he was and being Mantle Dareth to begin with. He was there for us, but it seems that he left his senses for a while. We have fixed him.
So Master Shin will say, so I see you touched the orb as well? Question mark.
Well, he still doesn't know what happened that caused him.
Yeah,
to
he doesn't have much memory at all of any of
Well,
that.
then Master Shin says, well, if we are going to work together, it would be best suited in your hands or around your noggin. So, keep it. If we're going to work together.
I'd have to give it back to the respectful owner. My intelligence is already tapped out now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take it then.
I'll just hand it back to you.
Master Shin will, a little piece of the shadow will zip by and grab it, bring it over to him.
He's still not saying sorry, but he looks He's definitely handing it back to you now that he realizes.
He's got a
No,
sheet of
he's-
book on
He's
his head.
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't want to say sorry and apologize out loud because that'd be a
Does he
bit too
remember that
much.
And he does remember that I gave him the amulet willingly, right? That one thing. Does he still remember that?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah, he
say he'd
remembers
still
everything
remember
that's
that
happened.
because that was pretty recent.
Yeah, he remembers everything that's happened since you guys got together, but he doesn't really remember anything that happened before that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
You
he
happen
knows
to
that
have a
if
rod of the
what you're
pack
saying is
keeper.
true, then he would remember how he got that headband because that was well after he joined us.
Well, Master Shin doesn't care, so nobody in the
I'm
party
just
needed
saying.
it.
He knows now that he knows now that he took it, and that's what
Okay,
he's saying.
alright.
He said it belonged to you, but
Okay.
he doesn't know how he came to be in that state that he was in.
We can talk
Well,
about this later,
Master
but
Shin
does
knows
anybody
that.
have any desire to be attuned to a headband of intellect?
We're gonna
I don't
sell
think
it.
so.
I don't have any spots to be attuned to it.
I say my intelligence is already capped out.
You happen to also have a rod of the pack keeper.
I don't think he found one of those.
Well, when I see him again, I say, "Well met, friend," and clap him on the back.
I thought
And EB sees
I
it.
didn't mean to just leave. I thought Carl would, hurry it up a little, but I see that it took his time. He's gonna kind of say that a little lower.
Yeah, like
To see you guys finally joined.
Well, that was
until
our fault for being confused. We took a while to decipher what happened to you, so that's what took us a little bit longer.
until Zilchin got cured, he did not remember that he was part of Bregan Dareth or an acquaintance of Jarlaxle. So
You got some pretty bad amnesia going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he touched the orb.
Yeah.
Got
He just
And
didn't
he'd
have
been-
a
and-
madness.
and-
He had an amnesia.
and
he
kleptomania.
had a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's
Are we ever
why
going to
he
know what it
hasn't
is,
told
or
you.
it's just out
Well,
and
because
out?
we never.
Doesn't matter.
Well, he is a klepto.
What were you saying, EB?
I said that he hasn't remembered anything. That's why he hasn't told the rest of that whole mercenary group about me and how badass I am.
That's what it is.
I thought that you should just make your claim since you love telling the story. So I didn't want to take that away from you, EB.
I mean, when you're hot, you're hot.
So Jarlaxle, he motions to everybody, help yourselves to beverages. He's sure as hell not going to wait on you and pour them for you. But you're more than welcome to help yourself. And it says, Zilchin here has filled me in on a little bit of your plight and why you're here. It's my understanding that you wish to banish the demons back to the abyss. Is that accurate?
Yes.
With as much pain as possible.
One thing I think we would have done before now, I think we would have telepathically spoken to Alstel about what he thinks about this whole field trip, and what does he want to tell Jarlaxle, and what's he think about Jarlaxle, and what's his inclination to be loyal to him or cooperate with him, or what does he want to tell him? I mean, we could have been telepathically bounced that off of him before now.
Okay, so basically, as you all would have been communicating on your walk across the city, he would have essentially shared with you all that Bregan Dareth, even though there are no there are no matrons in the group, there are no female drow in the group, but that they have more prestige and influence and clout in the city of Menzoberranzan than all but the most powerful of ruling houses.
Yeah. Their circle of shadow shadows or whatever times 12.
They run the they run the Undercity, the black market,
They're the mob.
They're the mob of.
So would they know anything about what happened to the Council of Spiders?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Would I also want to bring up the Council of Spiders here and now? Because it seems like they would, if they're all that, then it seems like they would either be in cahoots with them, or at least know who they are, or be opposed to them, one of the three.
Basically, Mouse was like, breaking Dareth serves their own purposes. You're just as likely to see them working for a matron mother as working against. I don't know that we need to share too much about the Council of Spiders just yet. We need to see where they stand on all of the situation and how they might be able to help.
Okay. And I'll just say back, what sounds like Zolchan's pretty much already filled the beans as far as what our mission is. It's cat's out of the bag. I don't know if we wanted Brigand Darth to know, but I think it's
well, we do need all the help we can get the Grimoire. And we didn't know about the Council of Spiders even being good or bad, so, this is one hand, 6 dozen, 16, blah, 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 the same.
The thing.
Well, I mean, we had already resigned ourselves to throw our hat in with Vizarin and the Council of Spiders. Now we're, we've already given up on that. Now we're, trusting somebody else who we didn't intend to come in here and trust. So I just think we would at least be discussing it with Alpha. I mean, he's the only thing resembling an ally that we have here.
I mean, but we already think that Vizirin has some secondary, goals. How do we trust Alpha more than, anybody?
Well, I don't trust him, but I mean, we've decided that we are trusting him, for better or for worse. We made that decision some time ago.
Jarlax will eyes each and every one of you as this awkward silence takes over the room as you all have a drink, but maybe except for maybe EB, nobody's actually touched them yet. Jarlaxle says, "I sense your ends. You have quite the dangerous mission here. Only 2 of you, and one of them being Zilchan, are actually drow. Yet you are here in the middle of Minzo Baranzan. You need all of the assistance that you can get. I am willing to help you. The demons have wreaked havoc upon this city. They will wreak further havoc and they've wreaked further havoc on the rest of the Underdark. It is a matter of time till they reach the surface, if some have not done so already. I would like to see them sent back to the Abyss just as much as you. Now, what is your plan to do so? Tell me if you will, and I will offer what assistance I can. If you feel you can't trust me, so be it. We will finish our drinks, and you may leave and go about your business and figure things out on your own. It matters not to me. Just know that I will be working to figure out a way to send these demons back where they belong, as I have been for some time."
Well, we have ties to the surface as well, and we would like to stop and stop the exact thing that you mentioned. We'd like to do it with as little damage to any civilization as possible, but that will be hard. We feel we have a way to summon the demons. We just need a difficult to obtain item to help us do this.
What item is that, dear friend? As he talks to you like he's known you forever.
I'll look to the others. I'll look
Should
kind
do
of
an insight check on him.
He seems genuine. He is perhaps the most charismatic individual you've ever met. Perhaps with the exception of, or certainly on par with Chance. At least in Chance's mind.
Yeah. Sounds right. I mean,
And you think he's being legit.
I mean, I think if we're talking amongst ourselves metagaming, I think we should certainly seriously consider joining forces with Garlacco
Oh yeah.
and them. But I think if we're being, immersing ourselves in the game, I think we would be really leery to just spill the beans and
I would
jump
say
ship.
metagaming even more. It's one of those like distrustful, smuggler and this, that, and the other thing. I'm very straightforward and all that stuff. I believe people have time, especially if I do insight checks and those kind of things. I follow my gut. And like I said, if we're barely trusting anybody as we've been going, sometimes we get bit in the butt, sometimes we don't. But we got this big goal in mind. We are in the city amidst all these people that will kill us in a heartbeat. We do need as much help as possible.
And that's another thing too. What if we decline? I mean, what's this guy how's he gonna take that? And if he's this big mob, badass and whatever, is he just gonna turn around and kill us for, they're not gonna work with me? I mean, it's almost, to me, it kind of sounds like he's the kind of guy that would demand it, or not demand it, but insist on it.
Better to be a friend than a foe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he hasn't done that yet. He really hasn't made us an offer we can't refuse, so to speak.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna actually stand up and just go ahead and tell him stuff. I'm gonna stand up and say, we have a wizard. We've gone through many undertakings and difficulties in the Underdark, receiving pieces of a spell that we can summon all these demons to some spot, to a place. We even have help from King Bruenor of Gonalgrim to amass an army big enough to help fight these demons at a given moment. We just need to find a place to summon it to cause little damage, and we need Gromp's Bienri's Grimoire.
You've been told now. That's your assumption. You've been told by Zirin that you have to do it in the city.
Right. I didn't say that yet. I know that.
Okay.
I just didn't say that. I said,
Gotcha.
Our goal is to try to have as little, damage as possible. But then I'll say, but then we were told that it has to be summoned close to where it was summoned. The demons were summoned the first time, which is apparently at the top of Sorcerer, and we need Grump Bannery's Grimoire to help cast the spell.
And
I would like to, when you're telling him all that, I'm going to drop my disguise self and reveal myself and say, we are currently cooperating with the Zarin. I'm blanking on his last name. What's his last name?
by Zirin.
DeVry or something?
Devere.
Devere?
Yeah, by
Devere.
Zirin Devere.
Are you acquainted with him?
Is that old bastard still alive?
He is.
I would have thought he had blown away in the by now.
He's very much alive. This is his ritual and his plan that Valor is describing to you.
Zirin has no love for this city. He certainly has no love for Grump Banray. He kind of
Do you have?
looking at each and every one of you, and just thinking and just analyzing. It's almost like you feel like he's just looking right into your heads.
I will ask him then when he's staring at us. I'll say, "Do you have a wizard or someone strong enough to know about this kind of spell to know if we could just cast anywhere or it has to be done there?"
The person most likely to know is unavailable to us at this time. Maybe some weeks before we can get to him. Who is sitting next to Austel?
I think I would be
Combat
next to
tracker
Alsto.
can't, yeah.
I think when we came in,
And Daiki didn't trust him, so that's probably good for how the tracker has.
Okay, so Chance and Daiki, give me perception checks, please.
well, he can telepath us if he wants. So,
I could telepath. Elstor.
all right, that's fine. Perception.
If I wanted to.
Perception checks. Yep.
Perception.
So, Daiki, you notice as Valor is saying that the ritual has to be performed for this, and this talisman has to be set near where the demons were summoned. You notice that Austel kind of looks down and refuses to meet anyone's eyes.
Uh-oh. It doesn't have to be done there. That's his revenge.
Daiki, you have detect
Daiki,
thoughts.
you have the best perception. You want
Yeah.
She can do detect
to
thoughts.
intervene or not? She can detect thoughts.
Yeah, I think she's going to do.
thoughts.
I think she's going to do detect surface thoughts on Alstel.
Okay. You would say that he feels unsure, and there's some doubt, feelings of doubt, and perhaps even a little bit of guilt.
Okay.
All right,
About the location where it needs to be done, or about other things, or just vague, or we don't know.
That's just, she noticed that when they were talking about where it needed to happen, he looked down, she used detect thoughts, and she sensed those thoughts.
And he was feeling down last night, and I talked to him about it a little bit.
That's right.
She can also probe deeper.
Yeah.
But he'll know that
She's
you're
good.
probing him, though.
Yeah.
If you do that.
Oh, she's totally going to look him right in the eyes. Probe deeper.
Ooh, I like that. This scene.
Okay, do I get this save on this?
Yeah. It's a wisdom save.
Okay, what is the save?
DC.
He's just watching this as he continues to talk nonsense, just random talk, but his eyes are not leaving Austel or Daiki. What is a wisdom save, and what is it? How much?
The DC 14.
Oh, he failed!
Nice.
You see his eyes. His eyes get kind of wide as he detects you invading his thoughts. And everybody except for Daiki jump down in the DM chat.
Oh,
please.
this is awesome. This is killer.
This is sick. Huh.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, shit.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this one so I can hear what they said.
I didn't even think about that. I can't wait to use reverse gravity. That sounds like such a fun spell to use.
That does.
Since I finally just got my 7th level spell slot.
How many people does reverse gravity affect? Is it just an area?
Yeah, it's just an area.
Hey, it doesn't take that long to tell him to come back up.
Nobody
Come on.
told us.
No, come on back. I thought James was telling you to come back up. Come.
Jeff, come on.
There he is.
There he goes.
Sorry, I was conversing with my wife.
How dare you?
I know.
Did she turn on? Did she stab you in the back like mine did me?
Yeah.
Yep, she got 4. She got 5 more cats.
So what does Daiki? So Daiki has heard that in Alistair's head. What does she do?
So before she responds to that, while she's still concentrating on the spell, she's going to do just a surface thought check on Jarlaxle.
Nice.
You get nothing.
Get nothing.
Nothing. All right. You would be quite convinced that he's got something that is preventing you from picking up on any of his thoughts.
All right, so Daiki kind of smirks, nods her head, without, not looking at Jarlaxle. She's still looking at Alstel. She nods her head, a really jerky nod. Sets down her drink, a little bit sloshes over, drips down onto the table, and looks at the group and says, "He doesn't believe. He thinks it's revenge." It just outs him right there.
And
I think
his
he might have
shoulders
cut
just
out a
kind
little
of.
bit.
I knew it.
So he said, I heard it. Daiki, say it again, Daiki.
She says, "He doesn't believe this. He thinks it could be used anywhere."
So it is.
But she just calls him out. Trying
Is
to
that
say
true,
about it.
Alstel? I'm gonna just call, right out in the open and not telepathy, just in plain language. Is that true, Alstel?
His shoulders just kind of slump. And he said,
Takes off running.
Brian can do his hands.
I can't say for sure, but I believe it is the case. I've studied Viziern's work, and you can tell he's very conflicted. This is a struggle for him because he
Can I? Go ahead.
clearly holds Viziern with a great deal of respect, and he's his mentor, he's his teacher. But this is overwhelming even that sense of loyalty. And he says, "I've read through much of the work, and I believe we can place the Dark Heart anywhere."
So why would he say that?
Revenge. He hates the matron mothers. He hates the priestesses of love. He hates the powers in this city.
Don't we all?
He has no thought or no care for the many innocent that do live here. And again, he's just kind of, his shoulders are slumped, his head's down, and he's just feeling, you can just see it, he's just feeling defeated. And
I could tell you had your reservations.
Jarlaxle. Yeah, and he kind of just nods, and Jarlaxle says, I'm more than happy to help you, but I will not be any part of causing more destruction upon this city.
Well, that is all the better for us as well, because our army, we don't know right now how they will get to. They said that they will be there when we need them, but we would like to pick a location that's good tactically for all of us to have this attack happen.
I think putting it in the middle of the city sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you say that?
No, I won't say that, but I am thinking keeping it to myself.
Take surface
speaks
thoughts.
up and says he's not certain. He doesn't know. I, for one, will take no chances until we are certain.
I mean, we could always attempt it someplace else, and if it doesn't work, then we know. I'd rather,
Yeah, but-
Is it a one? Do we get one shot?
Yeah.
don't know.
Unless we want to go back and collect all the stuff again.
Yeah, I'm just not a wizard enough to know that it would have to be done in the same place. I don't know that, there was not necessarily a rift that I see in the middle of this city that things would have come from.
We could roll like an Arcana or something.
Yeah, to know whether we have to do it at the Claw Rift where they came out, or...
Well, you know that the spell was initially cast in Sorcerer, in the
Right.
Rob's chamber.
And he
I'm
did.
going to ask Jarlaxle.
He did
You
just,
said
sorry. He did just say he's doing this for revenge. So
That's what Alstel believes.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't show his disdain for Gromp and anybody when we talked to him. He told us he got ousted because of Gromp and other stuff. So, we definitely knew. Like, I had talked to us and everybody before about it being a revenge thing. So, that's fits online with what we were even thinking.
Yeah. But now it confirmed completely that he.
Right.
Oh yeah, we know for certain that Vizarin hates Gromp with
Yeah, but destroying the city is. I didn't think that was ever to
He's
me.
been banished, so he was like, this place.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that we knew that would be a casualty of war, but there was no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
But now we know that there's a choice, and the choice was revenge. So it's a whole different ball game now.
Yeah. And I'll tell Alstel, I was like, I understand your loyalty. Like, I have loyalty to my friends here, but I have also loyalty to all civilized and innocent lives that we can save with. We want, the untold damage that these demons have been doing to innocents all across the Underdark. We can't cause more, ourselves in the midst of trying to stop it. We Drow aren't all, we've met some, we've traveled with some, we know that all Drow are not bad, so we can't condemn a city.
Give me a persuasion check.
who are we persuading?
Alstel.
Valor is persuading Alstel.
Okay.
I'm going to re-roll that with metamagic. I can re-roll an ability check.
Oh, you can.
Yep.
How do you do that?
Oh, it's called magical guidance. It's a sorcerer thing from Tasha's.
Oh yeah, I have that too now. I
Yep.
forgot.
Okay.
It's 1 sorcery point to re-roll its ability check.
Okay.
Wait, what level you get that? 7 or 6?
It's 5th.
5th? Okay, so I have that.
Yep.
So, Alstel looks
That's good to know.
to each of you. First at Valor, then to Daiki, to Chan,
top.
And then he looks on Torment. And then Zilchin. And finally he looks at Jarlaxle. And looks in the eye. He takes a deep breath and Jarlaxle says, "Things aren't perfect in this city, Elstal. I know it as well as you. But that doesn't mean we can condemn the entire city to death and wanton destruction. You'll have a place here in Bragendaerth if you cannot go back to Vizirin. And Alstol says, I do believe that we can place it wherever we wish. I do genuinely believe it will work. I am with you."
Awesome.
Jarlaxle steps up. "Well, all right then. Now all we have to do is figure out how to get Grump's grimoire."
Quick question. Baylor, what exactly were you trying to persuade Alpha when you did that persuasion check?
To give him to come over to our side and say, hey, because I had talked to him the night before, knew that he had reservations, and I could tell he was feeling bad about, the destruction that would happen, and where if we could do it someplace different, he wouldn't tell me, So this way, after us calling him out, I wanted to kind of, he has loyalty to Vizirin, it's his master, so I need to say,
basically, you were trying to persuade him to betray his master and tell us what he really thinks. Is that fair, or is that not?
I don't think
it's
not betray his master, but to do the right thing.
Yeah, if you know you can save a city worth of people,
But that is, in a sense,
ultimately, yes, he's asking him to betray the master, but he's not.
Yeah.
But that's not.
I'm just trying to
the-
figure out what the persuasion check is for. What are we persuading him exactly?
Persuading him to do the right thing.
Yeah, to do the right thing and help.
How much trouble
That's
this
the way I get
city
it.
cause the rest of the world?
Not much up to the surface, and the surface doesn't.
I'm not from the surface though. Well, I am from the surface, but say how much.
Rivers has a lot more problems that aren't directly from here.
How much trouble has this city caused the Underdark? We will rephrase that.
Jarlaxle says,
I'm not
"Friend."
gonna say that out loud.
Okay. Gotcha. So you're saying that to
I'm gonna spore talking
with your
Valor.
your mental communication.
Yes.
How much damage have you done? How many innocents have you killed?
Not
You were a
enough.
slaver as well.
I was forced.
You were what?
Do what?
You broke up.
I was forced to do it. Take
And
my
now you
family.
do it for fun. You had thoughts to murder an entire kitchen staff just to, do it. Are you any better than a drow now?
Well, he says that wasn't me. Just cold blankly stares you right in the face and says that.
Well, split pet personality aside.
Okay. So any further discussion amongst you guys?
Yeah, I have. If we're gonna be in cahoots with Jarlaxle, I've got two questions for him. First of all, he said that there was somebody else that we could hope to
Yeah,
get
that's
some expertise from that was not available at the moment. I'd like to get some more information about that.
So you asked Jarlaxle who this wizard is?
Yeah, I say, well, you had alluded to a wizard who could provide some additional information. Would you care to expound on that?
No, I wouldn't, quite frankly. I know a wizard who probably knows a little bit about this, but as I said, he is unavailable. He will likely remain unavailable for the foreseeable future. I do not believe he can help us at this time.
one other question.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Finish what you were
Always
saying.
go ahead. Just ask
We
a
had a
question.
running with the Bandersnatch game yesterday, and their leader had a small demon perched on her shoulder. He tried to shake us down for some money, and we dealt with it. I think I could use them as an asset if they were useful. But what do you know about the Bandersnatch game?
It's a relatively, well, they're a bunch of misguided youth from the best I can tell. They did not exist prior to the demonic invasion, or the demonic incursion. It's my understanding they've gotten involved in demon worship, and not the demon queen Loth, but yeah, honestly, I don't know which one it is. Don't really care. But I think they're all half crazy and entirely unreliable. And there's certainly no way they're going to help you get into Sorcerer. I, on the other hand, might be able to help you get into Sorcerer. No, that is not true. I most certainly can help you get into Sorcerer. But I will have to call in a few favors first. You're welcome to stay here.
Does your information provide? Does your information have anything about the whereabouts of Grumph Banray?
I know nothing of Grumph Banray other than he is not in this city.
Not in the city.
I telepathically to Wham and say that's the wizard that he knows that would be able to help with the spell.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Immediately.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So we're working now for
The other side.
against ourselves in a bit.
No.
I mean, he wants to accomplish. He wants to get the demons out of the Underdark as much as you guys do.
Who Grumph does?
No.
Jarlaxle.
Jarlaxle.
No. I'm talking about. I know, but if he's allied with Grumph, well then that would make things tricky for
He's
us.
a mob guy. He's allied with
Yeah,
them,
with everybody when it's convenient for him, probably.
Yeah.
What I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
He's
Only
got
because it
all
keeps them
kinds of
from
connections.
committing
He is-
other crimes against Underdark.
but all your suspicions are accurate because he is you
Yeah.
with a bigger group.
He's actually a cool lamb.
Yeah. Have you any experience DJ?
Well, if you must know, I once disguised myself as a deep gnome and put on one hell of a show in Blingdenstone. What's the little bar there? The little inn there?
Tappies.
It was quite a good time. They
Tappies
said it
is
was
the
the
best.
best show they've ever seen.
Tappies is the best bar in Blingdenstone, and everyone knows it.
They had great waffles there. So,
John, I text you with I put in the text what Jarlaxle looks like.
yeah, I thought there was going to be a picture in here, but there's not. So
I can't believe there's no picture of Jarlaxle in your module, dude. That's crazy.
I know, it's very disappointing.
I didn't know he was an LSU fan.
Yeah. So,
Or maybe he just went to Mardi Gras.
Jarlaxle says, I can most assuredly get you into Sorcerer, but I can't do it on my own. I'm gonna have to call in a few other favors. You're welcome to head back to the inn, or you can stay here, but I need to make a few contacts and set up a meeting. It'll probably take a couple hours, but I expect we'll get it in relatively quickly. Would you like to stay here? I'll have food brought in.
I don't see any reason. I can't think of any reason we want to walk across the city again. Can you guys?
Yeah. No.
You agree?
Yeah, Zilch is just sitting there eating and drinking all the food that he had earlier, just chilling out. Since I don't think he's part of the telepathic group yet, so he's just hanging
He's
out.
not. Yep.
He's not.
So Jarlaxle sticks his head out the door and makes a few, marks a few orders, and
Claptrap.
trays of food start coming in, and he says, "I'll be back shortly." And
Any weapons for sale?
any weapons for sale?
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
but
Would you
Just
like to
massive
buy a head?
Guy that could probably throw you.
there were like 3 of you talking at once. I didn't catch any of that.
Well, I was saying, as we're in this massive city, I mean, there should be some good loot to be able to steal or buy. This big final battle.
They probably wouldn't sell it to any humans, but they might sell it to somebody.
I'd sell it to Jarlax.
Yep.
You could sell it to us.
Jarlaxle could probably get a pretty good
Discount.
discount if I had to guess.
Yeah, but then he would rake us over the coals.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So a couple hours later, Jarlaxle comes back in. Very well. We have a meeting set up, but it's not until later tonight. I'm taking you to meet the matron mother.
Which matron mother?
The matron mother.
She is.
Wendell Bainray. Yes, she is Gromp's brother, or Gromp's sister. She is the matron mother of all of Menzo Baranzan. With her help, and mine, we will get you into Sorcerer.
She's like-minded with us.
Well, she wants no demons running about the Underdark or running about the city. Anything else, I don't know what she wants. But she most certainly does not want demons running around Menzo Baranzan or returning to the city. Or running around Underdark or returning to the city. So, we will go under the cover of night. It won't do to have a bunch of surfacers, even those in disguise, walking into the House Bainray in the middle of the day. So, in the meantime, I have a few things for you. And he opens up a little box, and there are 8 scrolls in this little box. So I had someone prepare these for you while I was busy making contacts. Pull up the party sheet. So these will help you when it's time to get into Sorcerer. And it gives you 8 scrolls of greater invisibility.
Wow.
Cool.
Sweet.
And they're in the party sheet.
How long does greater last? A minute.
Greater invisibility.
It lasts a minute. But you can also cast spells and stuff using it
Yeah.
for a minute.
Fight or attack.
Mhm.
Fighting tastes good.
Okay, so they're all in the party sheet. You can each take one. And you basically can spend the rest of the day.
Zoshin, do you have that in your spellbook?
Yep. I already have greater invisibility.
You can spend the rest of the day BSing with Jarlaxle. If you have any questions for him about the city, anything like that. But in several hours, you will go to House Bainray.
He'll ask you about the weapons.
Which shop he'll recommend or something like that.
Well, how much gold do you have to spend? Because, let me tell you, things aren't cheap here in Menzo Baranzan since the demon incursion.
I thought you were going to say the Biden administration. I misunderstood.
I love the Biden administration. I'll not have you talk bad about it.
Huh. We have $6 diesel, all you can tote. Just joke.
That's not his fault. I mean, Trump's best pal, Putin, invaded Ukraine and threw off the global petroleum markets.
He took all the diesel.
Yeah, he just completely threw the whole market supply chain into disarray.
At the same time, your oil manufacturers have hit record high profit earnings for the last couple quarters.
Yeah, so they've used the excuse to jack up the prices, and
Okay. The price of diesel went up before Putin went into Ukraine, but okay.
I've got about 12,000 gold that I can spend,
okay.
I got over 8,000.
and we have some extra small gems and stuff like that in our.
You also have
Well,
the
I am
headband
not.
above
Your dungeon master is not prepared for a shopping trip, so
Fair enough.
Jarlaxle will tell you that there is a place where he can take you tomorrow to attempt to do some shopping for some magic items. Anything else you'd like to ask Jarlaxle or discuss with Jarlaxle?
Does he know of a place? Does he one? I'm sure you know of Gonalgrim. Do you know a place that's a good setup for the spell between us and Gonalgrim that we would want to go to do this? Do you have a good location idea?
I am not sure off the top of my head. I will get with some of my scouts and we will see what we can come up with.
Okay.
But let me assure you, that spell, that item, that talisman will not be placed in Zobaranzan.
I'm with you.
At
Where
the
would you
first
like to
sign of, somewhere other than here, and if there is ever any indication of treachery, you will have made an enemy that you will not ever escape.
I point at
Okay,
EV and
let's
say
talk
he's the
about
only one in the
alternatives.
world.
Where would you like to put it?
Well, he just said he'd have his
Just,
scouts get together and work
Okay.
on it.
All right.
But what he's saying is he's looking at each and every one of you saying, if you're thinking about double crossing him and putting it in the city, that would be a bad move.
Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum.
So you get you kind of spend the rest of the afternoon. You eat yourself silly all day long. Great food, a lot of surface food. You notice, which is unusual or you would expect is unusual. Even at the inn, you didn't really get surface food. It was all Underdark food and Underdark cuisine. But it was very good. But here you're getting a lot of food that has clearly come in from the surface.
It's amazing what you can do when you raid villages.
Gotta raid him a long way from here.
He looks at you and just shakes his head. Dear brother, I haven't raided anybody or anything in more years than I can count. I'm a businessman. So anything you see here has come from trade and negotiation and barter.
I'll go to Chance and say, hey, how about you contact on the thing, or contact in Gonalgrim, and tell them we have, see if they know anything about Bregan the Earth, and tell them that we're gonna try to, get the people.
If I can have some privacy, I would be keen to communicate with Zelron Roaring Horn about an update, because there's a lot of news.
So do you ask
Keep
him
yourself
for
to the bathroom.
Do you ask him for some privacy, or do you go to the bathroom? What do you want to do?
He's sitting on the shitter.
I mean,
Oh man, don't be getting fecal matter on it.
If I can discreetly go to another room where the the bathroom or whatever they have.
Okay.
You know, who knows what they have. I would just say that plans are evolving. We're now in a tenuous relationship with Brig and Darth.
Brig and Darth. Well, you have made some interesting allies. They can be very helpful, or they can be bitter enemies.
We're
So when,
also hoping to. We've come to believe that we can possibly perform the ritual outside of the city, and we are exploring that option as well.
Very good, very good. Things are in motion here. We await your signal, and we will be there to assist you when the time comes.
All right. Now, here's another question. Do we have any reason at all we would want to Sending Stones Vizarin?
I don't know.
No, I would say
I wasn't asking you specifically, DM.
no. I would say no because there's no reason to talk to him until we get the Grimoire. You know.
I mean, I'm not saying that this is a good idea, but we could tell him that we've arrived. We could tell him.
We don't want him to get suspicious or anything.
We could tell him that the Council of Spiders has been compromised, and we could. I mean, because I still can't communicate with him. I don't believe. I think I'm the only one who has the Sending Stones. I'm the only one who can communicate with him.
I'm sure he might have one. We don't know that.
Well, we don't know.
I'm sure he can communicate.
We were led to
with the
believe
master.
he gave us one set of Sending Stones, that was the only form of communication we had.
No, that we have. He's his Padawan. You know, it's like he probably has a way to get in touch, just like he has. As soon as we get the Grimoire, he's supposed to go back to him. You know, and teleport back to him. So I know that he's probably at least got some way to contact him as well.
Well, we're speculating. We don't know that. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not saying I think it's a great idea to contact him. I'm just saying I think we should at least think about the possibility that we might want to contact him, because
He
not
might be
contacting him
expecting,
means
yeah.
things too.
Yeah.
He didn't say check in with him. He said, you know, let him know when he's.
When you get the Grimoire.
Yeah, but it's up to you. If you want to check in with him, we can check in with him.
I would say the least we have to talk to him, we should, because we don't want to let anything slip.
It's metagaming here, but I mean, we're just going to totally trust Drow Priestess's brother or the matron mother's brother, just like blind. Just
Hell no.
You don't know.
I don't think we have a choice.
You don't know that he's. You all don't know that he's related to him. You don't. Nobody knows that Jarl Axel is a Bayenri.
I thought he just said that.
You all don't Torment.
No, we remember he said that even though we know it, our characters don't know.
The
There's a
players, you the
Right.
players know that he's a Bayenri, but in the world of Dungeons and Dragons,
That's pretty
nobody really
secret.
knows that. That's super top secret.
Yeah.
Well, all that
And
Torment
he
knows
would just say
is
matron
that
mother, 'cause that's what she's called.
Right.
is that he really doesn't want anything to do with Jarlaxle or the matron mother, and he still has no problem putting this spell in Menzoberran's.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have.
I don't trust Vizarin or Grumph or Jarlaxle or any of these.
I don't either.
Well, at this point, I'm not
Don't we have
trusting
a
EB
choice?
or Torment either, because it's one of those, like, I don't want to kill innocent people, and these guys have no problem with it. So that's a problem for me.
The only innocent in this city are slaves.
That's not completely true.
It's only 100% true.
That's
And
what
those
Shin-
slaves would probably be, would probably be negatively impacted by.
Better to be dead than a slave.
Well, all right.
I just don't think we have a choice at the moment. We have to. I'm not saying trust, but we have to go along with it right now. It's our only option to get into Sorcerer. So, I mean, I just think that I don't trust him either.
Yeah.
But it's to me.
I think that Wham would be very pragmatic. He would be willing to, go along. It looks like this is, this is the best chance we have for getting into the tower. But he's just extremely distrustful of all these people, and he doesn't like the fact that we're literally changing the plan in our alliances on a nearly daily basis. Yesterday, where plan was, we were in bed with Vizarin and the Council of Spiders, and now we basically said we're not going to do Vizarin's plan because we think he's a homicidal maniac, and now we've thrown our hat in and we're going to the matron mother's house, which is about the last thing we were expecting to do. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's not willing to do it. I'm just saying this is
fucked up.
It's a lot. Dragon's Adventure Pack. It's one of those things. It's gonna be stuff that you just like. We have to do it.
okay. Well, I understand that.
We don't have to do it.
But I don't think Wham would take it that attitude that isn't part of the module.
I don't know. I think Wham would. I think Wham, just from what I know of you and what you told me about him, I think he would definitely play both sides if he could. If it was in his best interest. I mean, that just sounds like exactly what he is.
And he's going to the head. He is going to the head bitch in charge.
This is a contact
dead on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think even he has a real interest in having a contact with the matron mother. I think that is not what he's about. But
yeah, I mean, I'm already used to going around with a bunch of people I don't necessarily fully trust, as trusting as I am. There's a big thing that we need to stop. That's killing a bunch of people and possessing them and making them do awful things, and it all needs to stop.
Them steal headbands and everything.
But Master Shen is, is wise and is pristine and under control as he is in the same camp with Torment, because they enslaved his whole race for centuries.
I mean, hey, maybe this is an opportunity to try to kill the matron mother. I don't know.
Jared really is trying to TPK us.
I'll teleport away before that's TPK. I don't know with all that shit.
I will say this: I don't think we can take our same. I don't think it behooves us to take our same disguises to the matron mother. I don't see any reason why I want to show up there looking like a priestess of Vandry family.
Oh, definitely not.
No.
I'll give you that as a freebie.
Yeah, if we're trusting Jarlaxle, we gotta go at least. Or at least we're working with him. We're going.
We got the scrolls now. If you really need.
Well, the scrolls are to get in the Tower of Sorcerer, I guess.
Listen, you got an extra one.
I think if we try real hard, we can totally do it.
No.
Maximum effort.
So,
Alright, so what's the plan?
Basically, so Jarlaxle shares with you that he's going to take you to House Banray to see the matron mother
Tonight.
No disguise is necessary. You are with them, and you are going in as her guests.
And where is this? Down
This
in
is
the
getting fucking crazy, man.
south corner. The
South corner.
Yeah.
Yep. So
This is like being a gazelle and being herded into the lion's den.
All right.
Oh, you're our guest. Oh, what a nice guest. You're a tasty guest.
We got to take chances, man. Rolling the dice.
So, as darkness falls and Narbendel's light dims, Jarlaxle comes back to you with Carl and some other drow that look like they might have a little badass about them. And you start walking back to the other end of the city. So you get to check out a whole lot of Menzo Baronzon.
Do we all have those sketchers, that have that
The sketchers that light up.
at the bottom? Yeah.
Yep.
I got
wheelies.
You're allowed to have your what?
My gear put on.
Yep. You can
Okay.
be your normal selves.
I'm dressed. I'm macking it out. I've got my
And
best,
as
my
you
finest gear on.
okay, as you walking past Narbondale, there's a little path there that goes up north towards the bazaar, and you do see a familiar looking wagon
Oh God.
pulling in with a turtle steering the horses, as Orly, the turtle trader, is heading to the bazaar of Menzo Baranzan.
Sweet.
And I'll prepare for that for next week.
Sweet.
So you make your way down to House Bainry. You're going to be a whole lot closer to the inn now, so that's good for you. But so this vast web of heavy metallic strands forms a fence around this compound of structures that's laid out on this plateau at the top of Menzo Baranzan's great cavern. So this is literally, it's up on this big mesa-like setting. It's up near the edge of that, while everything else is kind of way down in this.
Oh, what are you describing?
This basin. This is House Bainry.
Okay, all right.
So it's literally looking over the entire city of Menzo Baranzan.
Where is House Bannery on the map?
It is
Very
south,
bottom.
south middle.
Okay, I see it.
And dozens of massive stalagmites and stalactites have been carved and shaped into towers, girded the balconies and walkways, and connected with delicate-looking ramps and bridges. All the compound is lit with blazing lights in pale shades of violet, green, and blue. Hundreds of drow warriors are stationed on the overlooks and walkways, ever vigilant as your group approaches. And you are led into, and again, no, let me see if we got a picture.
Did you do the psychic thing again before we left, John?
Yeah, it's a ritual. I can do it. So, but somebody's going to get left out. It's either going to be Zilchin, went in at first, or Alstel, or I don't know who do we want to leave out?
I leave Alstel out and put Zilchin back in.
You can leave me out because I have telepathy. So, and so does Daiki. We already have telepathy. And so
All right,
does-
yeah, let's leave out Shin. But I can't telepathy you. You can telepathy me.
Yeah, but you have message, don't you?
Nope,
Or something.
I don't.
Well, true.
I can only do 8.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't really like leaving Alstel out either.
No, not now.
You can leave Torment out. He really might say something offensive that Alstel shouldn't hear.
Well, I mean, it's not. The way I understand it, it's not a party line. I mean, I think you can communicate with anybody. I don't think it has to be like everybody's hearing everything, are they?
Oh, okay.
No, you can aim it. I would assume you're just all connected to where if you want to talk to somebody, talk to them, and then.
I think that's right. I don't think it's a party line.
Thought it was like a conference call.
It's in a Zoom meeting.
I mean, I'd leave Alstel out, but that's up to you.
Who
What
you
do you
leaving
think,
out?
Shin?
Just tell me somebody.
I can check in on Alstel anytime you need, and so can Daiki. She's got telepathy. Hers is stronger than mine anyway.
And EB has got support.
And he's got support to talk to. Yeah, so 3 of us can check in on him.
But I can only use hers once a day.
No,
Or
she
once
can
per
use her.
long rest.
She can use her telepathy anytime she wants.
Oh, okay.
60 feet, I
Surface
think.
thoughts or the read thoughts.
Okay, Alstel's out.
The detect thoughts she can only use once a day.
Oh, I see.
Did we get a short rest in or whatever while we were waiting for evening?
Yeah, I would say so. I'll give you a short rest. That makes sense.
Okay, Alstel is officially out.
Okay.
He doesn't have to know
So
that. We're just not talking.
So you get led in to the compound, and you go to this massive stalagmite, and that makes up the largest tower in the complex. And you are led up to the 4th floor and led into this massive throne room that occupies the entire 4th floor of this tower, this huge tower. And you see sitting on a throne which is carved from a single black sapphire with large diamonds set all about it that are shedding light into the room. A beautiful, gorgeous female drow dressed in scale mail with you see a tentacle rod at her one side, and fingers decked out in rings, and just a presence about her which is almost unnerving. And as you walk in and you approach her, she sits upon this throne, and Jarlaxle gives her a fairly deep bow and keeps his face looking down.
I will follow his lead.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll do
Zilch
what-
just
I'll do
follows
what
right
John
in.
does.
Yeah,
I will too.
Zilch just follows right in.
Anybody not bowing?
I don't think Torment will.
EB? Torment? Daiki?
EB does. It's very. He never bows to anyone, so it's kind of awkward if he's not happy about it.
So
He
it's
does recognize the office, so he will incline. It's a half-hearted bow, but he
Are
does.
you
Well, mine's
bowing?
half-hearted, but I'm doing
Are you
it
bowing
exactly.
as deeply as Jarlaxle? Are you bowing less so? What do you?
Shin
I mean, has he got
fast,
both
get on-
knees on
get
the
over
floor?
it, guys.
He got both
He's
knees
not
on the
kneeling.
floor.
He's got one.
He's bowing.
Jarlaxle's got one knee on the floor, and his head and he is bent down. I mean, he is definitely showing a great deal of respect.
Well, Torment follows suit, but you can hear the teeth grinding and his fists clenching over the bow.
You can hear your fists clenching. Stop that.
He's not near that bad.
Like his leather gloves. They're just like you can hear the creak of his leather gloves, leather on leather.
EB, what were you saying?
Yeah, he's not near that bad. He don't bow to anybody, so you can tell it's kind of awkward, like.
He almost falls over when he goes to a knee.
Yeah, like,
It's like, how do you do this?
This
Okay.
is not something he does.
EB curtsies.
EB's more of a curtsy. I was getting ready to say.
No,
Daiki-
Shin telepaths the whole
Daiki-
party and says, do not let your pride jeopardize the mission.
So Daiki.
Daiki bows.
Bows, okay.
Yeah.
And if anybody is looking up at all, you hear Torment kind of groaning, and if you were looking, you would see a smirk on Quinto Bainray's face, and you hear a little chuckle come from her. Well, you fake your displays of respect quite well. You may rise. Jarlaxle here tells me you've come to my city in an effort to send the demons back to the abyss, and that you need my help. Tell me, why should I help you? And why are you so anxious to send these demons back to the abyss?
You gonna jump on that, John?
Sure. I will say that we are here because Jarl Axel invited us here, and it is our mission, and we are here. The sole purpose of performing a ritual to rid the Underdark and the surface as well of the demons that have been released, and that is why we're here. And if we have likewise cause, then we can work together.
And again, I ask you, since you failed to answer the first time, why should I help you?
Why shouldn't you help us? It is your city that is being hit by these demons.
If these demons are here, it is because Loth demands it. It is a test of strength of our house. It is a test of strength that may lay waste to the enemies of our city. Why should I help you?
If you would like the demons to be gone, then you should help us. If you do not want the demons to be gone, then it seems that we are at cross purpose, and I don't think you. I think we are wasting your time.
And what is it that you hope to accomplish? What is it you seek in Sorceer?
We need an item from Sorceer to complete the ritual that would summon the demons, that would allow us to banish them back to the Underdark. Not the Underdark, the Abyss.
We searched Grump's, my dear adult brother. We searched his quarters immediately after the incursion and immediately after his departure. We found nothing of what you speak. Jarl Axel speaks up. Matron Mother, who did you send to search your brother's quarters? Were they capable? You don't really believe your brother would leave anything of great import just lying around his room, do you? That anyone could walk into? Surely there is a secret sanctum, inner sanctum, someplace, somewhere in his chambers that not just anyone can get to. Wouldn't you say? And she stops for a moment. Yes, that could be the case. My brother ever was distrustful. I cannot have the knowledge that my brother, Grumph Bainry, the oh so ever mighty sorcerer of the Drow, I cannot have evidence. I cannot have it become
It will be done.
We will search. We will search the tower and find Grimoire and complete our task.
Now, personally, Jarlaxle has told me of some ritual that you hope to perform. Personally, I don't care where you do this. If you do it here in the city, it will simply test us. It will test our strength, and those that die will deserve it. Do it outside of the city, I don't care. My only care is that there be no evidence of House Bayenri being involved in bringing the demons to Menzo Baranzan.
Would you mind putting that in writing?
And it basically says that you will have access tomorrow night.
Sweet.
Any details yet about how that access is going to happen, or that's going to be revealed later?
Jarlaxle will share with you before it is time for you to go. I believe he has already supplied you with a few items that might help your entry.
I'll bow again.
And Jarlaxle bows and says, "Thank you, Matron Mother. Your assistance is greatly appreciated." And you can see he's kind of, he's not happy with what she said about, the test and sacrificing the city, and she doesn't care. That's rubbed him the wrong way, and he's not hiding it either, which is a little bit surprising that he would be so openly hostile towards the Matron Mother.
Is she apathetic towards it?
She just ignores it.
Yeah.
And he arises, and she kind of dismisses you, and he leads you all out and back outside. Do you want to go I assume you want to go back to your inn, or do you want to go back to? You're welcome to join me back at House Duerden, or you can go back to Eastmere, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, I still don't think we're gonna be wanting to traipse about the city, alone until we're doing things. So I would say probably back to Duerden.
Yeah,
I kind of want to. Shin, he looks at. He saw the dismay on Jarlaxle.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "What do you make of this? What do you make of her comments about the city?"
Well, she is like any priestess of Loth. Everything is a test. Everything is about making herself and our city stronger. And everything is the will of Loth. And if she believes that these demon lords and demons assaulting our city are a test of Loth, that is all there is to it.
She does love chaos, from what I hear.
Like so many of the priestesses, she's quite crazy.
I like it.
Personally, I'm happy to help her out.
And he looks at you sideways. Don't depress things, brother.
He sneers at the word brother.
So that's the second time he's called you brother.
Yeah.
So Torment is on Jarlaxle's shit list.
And that is where we will call it a night. So you're going to head back to, before we do that though, head back to House Duerden or head back to the inn?
I guess we'll go back to where now. No,
Okay.
what we can gain from. The only reason I can think of we would go back to the inn is if we want to.
Waffles.
Well, waffles, but if we wanted to basically talk amongst yourselves without.
paid-
but I mean, I
Pay
don't
25
know.
gold a piece, man. That's steep.
I'm going to do an insight check on that brother comment. Is he just? Is it a
right.
brother that is? Is he just being?
Did he say bruh?
Nope, he said brother. Give me the inside check.
I mean, is he just saying it as a pejorative, or
Okay.
do I glean that there's some other meaning behind that?
You don't know. Nobody's ever called you brother before. This is not something you've ever heard. You don't know You don't know what the hell he's saying.
Does he say it like Dirty Dutch Mantel, or?
The Dirty Dutchman.
That's what you can't figure out. You don't know.
Those are more like Hulk Hogan.
Let me tell you, brother.
Did you put the headband back
Thunderlip
in?
style.
So that's it, guys. That's where we'll pick up there
I
next
think
week.
we should also.
Fantastic.
I think we should also give Jared some kind of a wish list or something so that he is prepared with Orly and he can decide how he would like to respond.
+2 rod of pack keeper. There you
Nope,
go. That's
you
how that
can
was.
send that shit to me this week.
We'll take a belt of Dragonkind. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. I'll add that to
Good
my
job,
sheet.
guys.
Good job, y'all.
All right, guys, well, I think
Silky,
it
did you
goes
put
without
the-
saying that these journals are getting harder and harder to write, especially with all the nuance. And if I'm not careful, my poetic license will maybe lead us astray of what we should be thinking. So if anybody has any input or whatever, I'm going to try very hard not to assume more than I should. But I tried last week also to keep it pretty in line with what Jared said.
I had
here's
two
the thing,
text
too.
boxes. I had 2 text boxes for the entire night: the description of House Stewart and the description of House Bannery. Happy to
Yeah,
send those, but everything else was just pretty much off.
The tricky part, though, is that when I try to transcribe these notes into a story, so to speak, is that I don't want to put words in your mouth, first of all, and I don't want to. I guess I just don't want to change what happened, so to speak.
I guess that's cool.
That's fair.
It's just tough. I'm just telling you. I'm not. It's not easy
Yep.
Here's the thing, though.
on an episode
Journal.
like this.
Here's the thing with the journal. I personally, I just take the journal as entertainment. I'm not replacing it with the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the game is what is really canon. What happens in the game, we know. What happens in the journal, it's just all purely just entertainment for me. I don't care if it's exactly right or if it's whatnot.
Right.
Plus, the journal is just your recollections. So
It is the only records and notes that we have to refer back to if we need it. It is
Yeah.
all we have.
Yeah.
If you get way off base, I always let you know.
well, if we really need to know, I mean, I do record these. So
That's right. There you go.
God, who wants to sit back? And
Well,
listen to
thanks
shit?
for anyone that tuned in tonight, and we appreciate it. Hopefully, you have found these last couple episodes. They've been a little different than what we normally do.
They're
but
good though.
Hopefully, you've enjoyed them.
Real good.
And,
cool. Take care.
We hope you see us next week.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
See y'all. Good game.
Hey, you too, James.